June 1944, northern France. German reconnaissance spots an entire American division preparing to cross the Rhine. 30,000 men, hundreds of tanks, artillery batteries, the works. German commanders redirect two panzer divisions to counter the threat. Thousands of soldiers, tons of ammunition, days of planning. There's just one problem. The American division doesn't exist. The tanks are inflatable rubber, the artillery is painted wood, the radio chatter is scripted theater. And the 30,000 soldiers? They're 1,100 men, artists, designers, actors, and sound engineers. This is the story of the Ghost Army, the most bizarre, creative, and successful deception unit in military history. Let's set the scene. It's 1943. The Allies are planning to invade Europe. Eisenhower knows the truth. They don't have enough troops. Not even close. To invade France, hold the line, and push toward Germany, they need overwhelming force. But divisions take years to train, equip, and transport. So someone in Allied command asks a crazy question. What if we don't need more soldiers? What if we just need the Germans to think we have more soldiers? Enter the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops. Official designation. Unofficial name. The Ghost Army. Their mission? Make the impossible appear real. Here's where it gets interesting. The U.S. Army doesn't recruit soldiers for this unit. They recruit artists. Fashion designers from New York. Set designers from Hollywood. Sound engineers from radio studios. Commercial artists. Painters. Sculptors. One recruit is Bill Blass. Yes, the Bill Blass who will later become a famous fashion designer. Another is Ellsworth Kelly, who will become one of America's most celebrated artists. These aren't hardened combat veterans. These are creative minds who know how to manipulate perception. And that's exactly what the Army needs. The recruitment is classified. The soldiers don't even know what they're being recruited for. They're told it's special duties and shipped to Camp Forest in Tennessee. When they arrive, they find something bizarre. Warehouses full of inflatable tanks. Let me describe what they're working with. Inflatable tanks, made of rubber, filled with air pumps. A four-man crew can inflate a 40-ton Sherman tank in 15 minutes. From 100 yards away, they look real. From aerial reconnaissance, which is how Germans gather most intelligence, they're perfect. Dummy artillery, wooden frames with canvas covering, painted to look like heavy guns. They even have fake shell casings scattered around them for realism. Fake trucks and jeeps. Canvas and wood frames that can be assembled quickly. They cast proper shadows. They show up on aerial photography. Sound effects. This is genius. Engineers record actual tank movements, the rumble of engines, the clanking of treads, the squeaking of gears. They play these recordings through massive speakers, some weighing 500 pounds that can project sound 15 miles. They record radio chatter from real units, then play it back with slight modifications. German intelligence is listening to American radio frequencies. The Ghost Army feeds them exactly what they want to hear. Flash canisters, devices that simulate muzzle flash from artillery. At night, German observers see what looks like heavy artillery firing. It's actually controlled fireworks. Their first major deployment is supporting Operation Fortitude, the massive deception campaign before D-Day. The Allies want Hitler to believe the invasion will happen at Calais, not Normandy, so they create an entire phantom army in southeast England. The Ghost Army sets up fake camps, inflatable tanks lined up in fields, dummy landing craft in harbors, radio traffic suggesting massive troop concentrations. German reconnaissance flies over. They photograph everything. The intelligence reports flow back to Berlin. Americans are massing at Calais. Multiple divisions. Armor. Artillery. Invasion imminent. Hitler believes it. He keeps his best panzer divisions at Calais, waiting for an invasion that will never come. When D-Day happens at Normandy on June 6, 1944, German reinforcements are hours away because Hitler still thinks the real invasion is coming at Calais. The Ghost Army's deception keeps German reserves locked down for weeks after D-Day. Historians estimate this deception saved thousands of Allied lives, and it was done with rubber tanks and sound effects. After D-Day, the Ghost Army deploys across Europe. They run over 20 major deception operations. Each one follows the same pattern. Step 1. Replace a real unit. A genuine division pulls out for rest or redeployment. The Ghost Army moves in the same night. Step 2. Create the illusion. Inflatable tanks go up. Dummy artillery positions are established. Radio operators start broadcasting fake communications using the real unit's call signs and frequencies. Step 3. Make noise. Sound trucks play recordings of tank movements, troops assembling, equipment being moved, at night, when sound carries farthest. Step 4. Show activity. Soldiers wear the patches of the unit they're impersonating. They visit local towns, chat with civilians, who might be German informants, complain about being stuck in this boring sector. Step 5. Wait. German reconnaissance observes. German intelligence analyzes. German commanders make decisions based on false information. It works, again and again. March 1945. The Rhine River. The Allies are preparing to cross, the final major obstacle before Germany itself. The real crossing will happen at Remagen, but the Germans can't know that. If they concentrate forces there, casualties will be catastrophic. The Ghost Army stages their most elaborate deception at Viersen, 40 miles north. They inflate an entire armored division, hundreds of fake tanks, dozens of fake artillery pieces. The sound trucks run 24/7, broadcasting the noise of a massive force preparing to cross. They set up fake command posts with radio traffic discussing bridge construction, supply routes, timing coordinates, all completely fabricated but perfectly realistic. German commanders intercept the radio traffic. They analyze the intelligence. They redirect forces to Viersen to counter the expected crossing. 2 panzer divisions, thousands of infantry, artillery batteries, all moving to defend against an attack that isn't coming. Meanwhile, at Remagen, the real crossing happens with minimal resistance. By the time Germans realize they've been fooled, Allied forces are across the Rhine and pushing deep into Germany. The Ghost Army's deception at Viersen directly contributed to one of the war's most successful river crossings. Estimated casualties prevented, thousands.